Sports on Tap is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group with Dobie Real Estate, Jason Stiltner at Flagstar Bank, Time Out with Steven Scott, presented by Baldman Entertainment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, we loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping with news that's jaw dropping. They're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go and all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Hello, motherfucker.
Nice. Welcome to Sports on Tap. I'm Chris Scott alongside Joe Waddell. Frank Giagata is off tonight. Sorry, that was great. I knew you were gonna do it too, and I
was gonna say you were expecting it, and it still caught you off guard.
It's still caught me off guard. And it's still pretty funny. Nicely done, sir. Well played. Well played.
Listen, we got to keep it fresh, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like the kids say, keep it fresh.
Do the kids say that?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know what the kids say. I know what my 4-year-old says, and I don't even understand half that shit. So.
Well, I mean, she's a 4-year-old.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, whatever. So, anyways, as you know, we took last week off, so it was nice little week break. So
yeah,
it's good to get back into it. So.
Yeah, and the good thing is this time of year, if we have to take a week off or we decided to either or, we don't miss a whole lot this time of year.
Yeah.
Which then when we come back for a show, we have a few more things to talk about. So
we do. So speaking of that, let's get into it. I mean, we talked about it kind of before the show. What we kind of wanted to dive into a little bit, and we're going to start off with like the Stanley Cup playoffs and the NBA Finals. They're nearing both those seasons are nearing their end. And we're going to start with the NBA Finals because I've actually watched some of the NBA Finals. I watched like 2 or 3 games of it just to get a better sense of like what is happening in the series. And
right,
I'll say this, and we've talked about it, here and there about the NBA in general. It's so bad. The NBA NBA Finals is honestly one of the worst series I've ever watched, and not just basketball, but in sports. It's bad.
It is not good. So I've watched some of the NBA Finals, and we talked about it. I didn't watch any of the playoffs before this, really. And I'm not really a basketball guy anymore, but I watched the playoffs.
Right.
And I always watch the finals. And I've watched this finals for the most part, and you're right, it's not good. It is some really, I don't want to say poorly played basketball, because that's just not giving some of the guys out there credit, but it's just an ugly, not fun to watch series.
Right.
And Boston is so. You've got Golden State, who is very streaky, and they're a streaky team, and then you've got Boston, who just kind of methodically plays and drudges along. And I'm not saying either one of these teams is bad. It's just not a fun series to watch. It's not interesting.
And the ratings are reflecting that, because it's one of the lowest rated series in recent memories, and which is kind of odd because you have 2 of your marquee teams like Boston, and that's like a cornerstone franchise of the NBA.
Yep.
And then you got Golden State, who's come on in the past decade or so, and it's one of the more popular teams in the league. And people are just not watching it, and the reason why they're not watching it is because it's not a good series. Like every game besides Game 4 has basically been a blowout.
A lot of people were saying maybe this series would be people wanting to root for the underdog again, and they were trying to say that Golden State was an underdog because they were on top, then they got knocked down pretty badly. Injuries plagued them and things like that. So they were kind of out of it for a couple years. But before it started, I said I don't think they've been out of it long enough to be an underdog and for people to root for them. They haven't been out of it long enough, and they went to 5 straight NBA Finals or 4 straight, something like that. It was. They're still looked at as the team where, honestly, not saying it's been that long, but people look at the Golden State and go, again, Really? We got to watch this team again? Same as what people look at the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Or did at one point in time. Not
absolutely.
anymore.
They got
it's-
fatigue.
Yeah. You're just like, oh, come on, again?
Right.
Fucking again?
And I mean, I'm sorry, a team that has Steph Curry on it, that team's not an underdog. I'm sorry, it's not.
No, I agree with you.
'Cause he's
Even though last night he shot for shit.
He did, and they still won.
0 for 9 from the 3-point range. I think it was his first game in like 240 some games without
Right.
hitting a 3-pointer. 0 for 9, and they still fucking won.
And not only did they win, they blew them out. It's like in watching the series, wherever the game's being played, whether it's being played in Boston, and this is not just the NBA Finals. This has been kind of the playoffs in general. Is wherever the game is being played, that team has just jumped out to like a huge lead, and the other team is catching up, and they'll make a run. They'll get it to within like 6, and then the home team will just make another run, and they'll be back up like by 18 again. And we've talked about this a few times. Like, at what sport is a home ice, home court, home field advantage most advantageous? And to me, by far, it's not just the NBA. It's basketball in general.
Yeah.
Like college basketball, NBA, home court advantage is huge in both of those sports.
Yeah, I agree.
Huge. You're seeing it now. I mean, the NFL road teams tend to win quite a bit on the road. We saw it at last year's playoffs. It just happens. Hockey, same thing. Even though this year's NHL playoffs, the home team have kind of been the more victorious side. But I mean, it happens so much more in hockey that the road team can come in and win like a game or two in a series than it does in the NBA.
So we got a comment on here. Hey, Steve. So this is Steve from Time Out with Steven Scott, also from Baldman Entertainment.
What's up?
He says Joe rocking his Monster Energy drink shirt, which actually I'm going to try to slide over and show. It's not. From the shoulder, it might look like it, but this is
It's like a St. Patrick's Day Tigers.
This is
jersey.
a St. Patrick's Day Tigers jersey.
I can see it from the sleeves how it might look like in a
It
Monster Energy.
it kind of does a little bit. It's only got the 2 stripes down there, not the 3 though.
Okay, Chad.
Shut up, Kyle.
Right? But it's so, and like I said, just you're judging by the ratings. People aren't watching the series. And granted, they're going to look, the ratings for this are going to look superior to the NHL, and that's just the case because more people watch basketball than hockey. And
Right.
That's fine. But what the ratings should be for the series and what they are, it's not a good look.
It's not at all, and it's been like you said, the ratings reflect
Yeah.
what the play has been, and I think it reflects that there's fatigue with Golden State,
Yeah.
and I think it reflects with people just don't care about the Boston Celtics anymore. They're not the marquee name anymore.
No, which is again being a cornerstone franchise is kind of odd. And I did see this thing on the Twitter.com. Somebody posted like if you took for the Golden State, if you took Curry, Thompson, Durant when Durant was there, obviously, Draymond and I'll get to Draymond in a minute. Draymond and Andre Iguodala, and
Sparty?
yeah, and then you put them up against like the Bulls teams, so like Jordan, Pippen, Tony Kukoc, Ron Harper, and Rodman. Who wins that series?
Oh,
And I thought about it for a second.
I don't
I'm
even
like,
have to. I'm not even going to open my mouth.
I know who you're going to say. Of
course.
But I thought about it for a second. I go, well, it depends on what rules they're playing. If they're playing in like the Jordan era rules, Bulls in 5. Easy. Bulls in 5.
Yep.
And then if they're playing today's rules, Bulls in 7. That's just,
Still the Bulls.
It's still the Bulls, but I think it would be I think it would be a closer series, but I still think ultimately the Bulls would win.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you there. I would have said Bulls in 4 if they were playing in the
Fair.
Jordan era.
I figure I'd give a 5 because like one of those games, like one of those Curry might get hot. Because I'm sorry, like I'm not a huge Stephen Curry guy. I'm not, but I'll give him his props. The dude is one of the best shooters, if not the best shooter of all time.
I think he's probably the best pure shooter of all time.
I mean, he's up there. You want to argue with him or Reggie or Ray Allen or guys like that.
Reggie was great. Ray Allen. I don't think he was a shooter, but I don't think I could put him on the same level as Reggie, and I can't put any of them on the same level as Steph. I just can't.
That's fair.
To me, he's unbelievable when it comes to being a shooter.
Yeah, and
You know what I mean,
said,
like
I'm
it's
not
just
a huge-
it's insane.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Steph guy, but props where they're deserved. He's arguably the best shooter of all time, and I mean, you could debate it all you want, but it's Look at his numbers. It's hard to disagree with it. So,
Yeah.
and that's fine. And then like another thing that's I think plaguing the series is when a certain player not named Stephen Curry or Jason Tatum or Klay Thompson is getting talked about more than what's actually going on in the series,
Right.
Which is Draymond Green, and for the just. What has he done in the series? And he's being talked about more than what's actually going on in the series, like how these teams are actually playing against each other. Because he just runs his mouth on his podcast, like after these games and stuff like that. It's like, dude, just shut up and play, man.
Yep.
And no, this isn't the stupid shut up and dribble bullshit. That's not what I'm saying. It's just if you're gonna run your mouth and talk shit, back it up, dude. Like you can't have like a like a triple single
Right.
and then sit there and run your mouth on your podcast, like saying like you're great. I don't. And I think Barkley had the perfect response to Draymond because he's like, oh, Draymond's like, I might take your job or whatever, blah blah blah. And Barkley's like, he's like, you're like that fifth guy in a boy band who thinks everybody's cheering for him and thinks you're doing great, but they're not cheering for you. And I think that's pretty spot on. I think it's pretty accurate. So that's just, like I said, you want to do your podcast, that's fine, but just don't like talk a bunch of shit and then not back it up on the court,
Right.
It's like that's really all I got to say about that. But like I do like I like Draymond because he is outspoken, and it's you don't really see a lot of outspoken athletes. You just don't, because they're too worried about their brand or what people might think of them or this, that, and the other thing. I like his outspokenness. I do. I don't like when he runs his mouth and he doesn't back it up. That's what bothers me.
Right.
No.
Sorry, I'm dealing with something here. Our system kind of shut down on me in a certain way. We're still broadcasting out. I just can't see any. It kind of logged me out as far as what I can see.
Oh.
So as I'm listening to you and talking
Yeah.
to you, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm also over here trying to scramble and figure out what is going on with our Restream
Oh, sounds good.
system here.
I mean, I can still see us.
That's good. I'm glad we can still be seen.
Yeah.
I think it's the stuff that I'm being able to see that is stopped at this point. But
Gotcha.
we'll continue on. It is what
right.
it is.
So moving on from the NBA Finals, which has kind of been a dud of a series, to the Stanley Cup Final, which I'm actually looking forward to, which starts tomorrow night on Wednesday.
Yes.
Between Colorado and Tampa Bay. I am very much looking forward to this series. I think this is going to be a great series. I do. I think it's going to go. I think it's going to go 6. I don't think it's going to quite go 7. I don't think Colorado has the goaltending for it to go 7. But I think they're going to be very well played games. I think they're going to be very low scoring games. Now I do have to say this is if Tampa Bay wins the 3rd straight cup, which will be a dynasty. Period.
Yes,
It will be a
absolutely.
dynasty.
Oh, absolutely. And Steve says everything is good on their side too. So Steve,
right,
thank
good.
you. I
Thanks,
appreciate
Steve.
that.
Appreciate it.
I did lose some of your messages. I saw you had some more up there, and I lost them on my screen, which is really weird. That's one of the things that I was looking at that I lost on my end. So
Oh, Scott's with Steve.
and Scott is with Steve.
Yeah,
And Scott's saying Avs in 6.
that's right. He's got it right. Avs in 6,
Yeah.
100%. But with Vasilevsky, say Tampa Bay does win a 3rd straight cup, which again will be a dynasty. At what point do you start putting him in the GOAT conversation as far as goaltenders, like up with Brodeur and Pat Roy and guys like that, and Hasek and guys like that?
To me, I think he's proved at this point you kind of have to put him in that conversation already.
Okay, even if he doesn't win the 3rd?
Yeah. I mean, look at how outstanding he's played. Even if they don't win this series, the guy's been lights out.
He has
I
been
mean,
lights out.
he's been incredible.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, I think it's going to be Avs. I think the Avs are going to win this series. I called it before the last 2 series started.
Yeah.
I said the Avs were gonna kind of run roughshod over the Oilers. I thought they were going to win in 5. They actually won in 4.
Yeah.
And then we both called Tampa in 6, which give us both credit for those. Yeah, I think the Avs take this series. I said if the Avs come out of it like I thought they were going to, I see them taking the series. But I think with the goaltender conversation, I think he's already in that conversation.
Okay.
In my opinion. Obviously, we're giving our own opinions here. We can't
Right.
talk for anybody else,
Obviously. I mean, you look at his numbers, especially like games after a loss, they don't lose. He doesn't lose games, and then closeout games, he just literally shuts teams down. It's amazing. So I'm gonna say Tampa Bay in 6.
Okay.
It's simply because of him. Well, actually, not simply because of him. That's one of my X factors as to why it will be Tampa Bay in 6. But also, Tampa Bay can play any kind of game you want.
Yeah.
They can play run and gun. They can play defensive.
Right.
They can play rough. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Any kind of game you want to play, they can play it. And one of the guys from the Islanders dynasty was asked about Tampa Bay in comparison to their dynasty.
Right.
And he goes, it's very similar to ours because we can play any kind of game you wanted to play.
Yeah.
And this is what I see. You look at what Tampa's done over these 3. They always find a way to win. They just do. And however the game is being played, they find a way to play that game and they find a way to beat you. And when you got that guy in net, you can do that. You can take some chances. You can play it however you want to play it, which I think is fantastic. And to have a guy like that back there who's basically a brick wall, especially in closeout games and like games after a loss, like kind of games you have to win.
Yep.
To me, that's why I'm taking Tampa Bay in 6.
Here's one from Dennis, who is logged in now. Said, first time in NHL history that 2 teams with names that don't end in S are in the finals. Hashtag most useless stat. Dennis, I appreciate that, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
I expect nothing else from you, bud.
I mean,
Mr. NHL.
I like that, though.
That is great.
That is
Scott says, again, Scott from Time Out with Steven Scott. Appreciate you joining us, buddy. Says that's still mostly Stevie Y's team, so I wouldn't be terribly upset with it. Which, I mean, Red Wings.
He did build the foundation for that team.
He did, and you can't blame Wings fans for kind of attaching to that team and going, all right, I want to see that team win because Stevie Y built them, and if he built them and they're winning this much,
Sounds like the Rams.
sounds like sounds like the Rams.
Sounds like the Rams a little bit.
But I mean, I'm not that they're. I don't think Wings fans are like becoming Tampa Bay fans.
No,
but they're just excited that this team that Stevie Y built is winning. That's all. They're not going to be like Lions fan that followed Matt Stafford and was like, oh, it's the LA Lions.
Yeah, stop it. But but that's got to suck for Yzerman. It's like he built this team, but he's not going to get like his name on Stanley Cup, or he's not going to get rings for it.
Yep.
But anybody that knows hockey,
knows
who built that team.
Exactly.
And this is why Yzerman, he's going to go in the Hall of Fame as a GM as well. Because not only did he built Team Canada for those gold medals that they won, and he won a gold medal as a player. Like he's going to be in the Hall of Fame twice.
Scott says, if you build it, they will come. Well, if you build it, Stanley Cups will come. Hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully for the Wings' sake. Hopefully it's not after Stevie leaves here that his teams win Stanley Cups, though.
And then the only reason why he came back here is because his wife wanted him to come back. That's it. Or else he'd still be in Tampa.
He'd still be in Tampa. Winning them cups.
Exactly. So, but he's gonna be a double Hall of Famer. Like that's crazy to me that he's gonna be a double Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think he will be too. I agree with you there. So. I agree. I think it's awesome. I mean, I know you're one of the biggest Stevie Y fans there is. So
yes, I am. And yes, I do hate the Red Wings, but Steve Yzerman is my favorite athlete of all time.
But at one point in time, you didn't hate them.
Correct. Yes. That is true.
Anybody that listens to us knows at one point in time you didn't hate them. I just have to preface that.
Yes, that is very accurate. But like I said, I'm looking for a very exciting series. Fingers crossed that it's significantly better than anything the NBA has put out this year or, previous or whatever.
I think I will. I'm with Scott. I'm going to go Avs in 6.
Okay.
And what I'm rooting for though, Game 7.
Oh, hell yeah.
No matter what.
Absolutely.
I don't care who fucking wins if it goes to Game 7.
Oh, absolutely.
Bring on Game 7.
I'm with you.
Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Oh, no. There's nothing
unless it goes to overtime. Then
yeah, right.
Then it's better.
And what's great about this is I think obviously you see the seeding, like where they came from in each conference. I think these are the 2 best teams in the NHL this year. I think I would agree with you. You're getting the 2 best teams in the NHL in the final this year.
You're getting who you should get in the NHL finals.
And obviously in the NBA it kind of works the same way. You generally get the best 2 teams in the final.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it's always the same fucking teams in the final.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or for the most part, it's the same.
Well, for at least for a few years in a row, it's the same fucking teams,
right.
And all of a sudden, one team might rotate in. Right. I do want to say this though, not getting off topic, but kind of. So Steve and Scott are both on right now, and Steve mentioned something to me in a text this last week, and I'm going to break it up here. He's talking about possibly getting together for a couple of drinks and a couple of cigars and a mutual podcast sitting, and just doing a show, a couple drinks, cigars, just a guy's night, mutual podcast kind of thing. So I want to throw it out there and just say that I think I'm down for that. I told him, listen, I'd be down for that.
You had me at drinks and cigars, man.
Yeah, you're like, fuck the podcast portion, but I don't even care.
You had me at drinks and cigars, dude.
Drinks and cigars, and then you're gonna put a microphone in front of me too.
Yeah.
Sure, let's do it.
Just give me some bourbon and Coke. We're good,
Right?
baby. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Give me some Woodford. I'm all set.
Yeah, I told him. I said, listen, I know I'm down.
Oh, hell
I said
yeah.
I can't really speak for Frank and Chris, but
I would
I said
100% down for that.
I like cigars,
Yeah.
so let's do it.
I think that's a terrific idea.
Because he let off with just the text was, "Do you like cigars?" And I was, Steve, listen, I love you, bro, but you lead off text messages with some of the most random shit ever, and it just makes me go,
What?
What? Yeah, sometimes your text messages really throw me off, but I was like, I mean, yeah, why?
I do.
Wow,
yes.
what's up? But yeah, so then he mentioned that, and then Scott says he'll bring the jelly beans. I'm out on that.
Yeah, that's a hard no for me.
Yeah, I'm out on that one. But you guys, listen, partake in that all you want to.
Have at it.
We'll be glad to sit there and just be the comedic relief
Right.
to your eating those shitty jelly beans. But yeah,
Man. So moving on from the Stanley Cup Finals, I'm going to talk to Tigers just for a slight moment because that's just I really thought they were trying to turn the corner there for a second. They're not.
they're.
And then you read the news that Casey Mize is going to have Tommy John surgery.
But see, and we texted about this the other day,
Yeah.
and I didn't say it in there, but I wanted to save it for the show. How long have you had an idea that it was Tommy John?
Oh, because it was only supposed to be a couple weeks that he was out, and then after that couple weeks, it was kind of like, all right, this is probably more serious than they're letting on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's-
yeah.
I mean, I think it was all but agreed upon by fucking everybody but the team that,
Yeah.
hey, he's going to have Tommy John.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, like a month later, you're sending him for surgery for Tommy John. It's like, man, you just prolonged it for what?
Yeah.
Why? Just fucking get it done, man.
Yeah. So now he's basically gonna be out till what, after the All-Star game next year,
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
So great. And then he's going to be going on 28.
Awesome.
Like, what are we doing here, man? It doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, Chris Ilitch doesn't care. He just paid a shitload of money to become the official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
Which when you text that to me, I was like, wait, they did?
Uh-huh.
I had no idea.
So get ready for $18 beers at Comerica Park and Little Caesars
Oh,
Arena.
Jesus. Wow.
They ain't spending any money this offseason.
So the official pizza of the
They
NFL
replaced Pizza
is
Hut.
Little C. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. They replaced one kind of crappy pizza with another.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in my opinion, they downgraded as far as the pizza goes because Pizza Hut is actually not as bad as Little Caesars.
I don't disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
so congratulations, NFL. You got Shitty Pizza as your sponsor. Well, I mean, that's the thing. They've had 3 shitty sponsors in a row with shitty pizza. They had Papa John's, which is terrible pizza. Mm-hmm. Then they had Pizza Hut, which was an upgrade from Papa John's. It's
Yeah.
not that much better, but it was an upgrade.
No, it was a little bit of an upgrade.
And then you took the downgrade, which I think Little Caesars is better than Papa John's.
See, I don't. I think
that's
Papa John's
fair.
better. My worst pizza on the fucking planet is Little Caesars.
Oh no,
I
Happy's,
can't stand
Happy's
it.
100%.
See, I've had Happy's,
Happy's
and it's
pizza
not
is the worst fucking pizza I've ever had in my life.
really.
It's awful.
See, I've only had it once or twice, but
it's
I didn't think it
so
was as
bad.
bad as Little Caesars. Little Caesars is like cardboard with sauce and cheese on it. To me,
Like Happy's is like really doughy and has like the sweetest sauce ever.
okay,
It's like they put a shitload of sugar in it.
all right.
It's like what is this? This isn't even pizza. Are you trying to make an actual pie out of this?
they were making a dessert pizza
Like,
and
come
just
on, man, this is garbage. So
You
yeah,
can't let that shit happen.
can't let well, yeah. And then obviously you had the dipshit who owned that company, fucking, doing his idiotic stuff, and that kind of got him booted from. He's like, no, we don't want you as our sponsor anymore, bro.
It's like watching a bunch of retards trying to fuck a doorknob.
Yes, that's correct. So, but yeah, back to Casey Mize.
Yeah, and Scott says, so glad they saved his arm in the minors.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know what I don't know what Mize's upbringing was as far as like what sports he played. If it was just strictly baseball, I don't know all that information. But
Right.
I kind of think that's what it was. Is like he was just like a strictly like a baseball guy, and once again you're seeing it with these pitchers. And again, if this is accurate, which again I don't know if it is, if that's the case, then that you just see it. It's another case in point. It's like, dude, you got to let these guys, like as they're growing up, play different sports, man.
Yep.
Bing bong.
Because if you're just gonna like make them like strictly a pitcher, and I know we hit and everything like that too, but if you can make them basically strictly a pitcher, you're not setting them up for success later on in their careers. You're just not. You're setting them up for failure. And we've seen with Tommy John surgery is when the guys come back, they generally come back pretty well for the most part.
Nowadays, yes.
Nowadays, yes.
Yeah.
It's such a routine procedure.
Yeah, they've perfected the surgery at this point, and,
Right.
and it is one where they come back way better than they used
Right.
to.
I mean, but you're getting a new ligament in your elbow.
Right.
Like a brand new one.
right.
So it's like, okay, and now it's just a matter of can you regain your mechanics and can you regain like how you were throwing the ball and things like that.
Yeah. It's almost a mental hurdle
I mean,
instead
shit,
of a physical
you
hurdle.
Look at Verlander this year. He came back from Tommy John this year, and he's right now he's leading the Cy Young voting.
Yep.
Like if you had to vote right now, he'd probably be your Cy Young winner.
You know what the Tiger should have done?
What?
Pay that man his money.
Maybe. Instead of trading him for who? Exactly. That's where we need a cricket thing.
Yeah, I was looking for something to play, but there was nothing to play. Trading him for
Pussy.
they didn't even get that.
They did not get that. They did not get that.
Oh shit!
So, again, another excellent trade by your GM Al Avila. That netted you terrific prospects.
Very piss poor.
Very piss poor.
You know what isn't piss poor?
I do. Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank. If you're a homeowner or looking to be a first-time home buyer, give Jason Stiltner, Senior Loan Officer at Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631. Jason has great mortgage programs for first-time home buyers, including down payment assistance options and excellent interest rates. Again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631 and get the excellent service you deserve. Flagstar Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC, and MLS number 27546.
There you go.
There it is. I was waiting for that. I was waiting
There you
for that.
go.
So, moving on from one disaster to I think is kind of like another possibly disaster. That I think
Another disaster?
I think it's going to end up being a disaster. And we don't talk a lot about this on the show, but the Live Golf Tour.
Yeah, so we don't talk a lot about golf,
We
but
don't.
there seems to be a lot going on with golf right now.
Yes. So the Live Golf Tour, it's an upstart golf league, and it's bankrolled by basically like the richest people in Saudi Arabia. And as we know, like Saudi Arabia, those people, they have excellent track records with human rights and things like that. So, sure, yes, let's take their money. That's fantastic.
You're a loser.
Exactly. So it's backed by these guys, and it's headed up by Greg Norman, who is a fucking loser. Play that soundbite again. That guy is a fucking loser.
You're a loser.
The guy was the ultimate choke artist on the golf course. Anyways, but to their credit, they have actually poached some big names. They poached
They have. I've been surprised with the big names
right.
they poached,
They
too.
poached Dustin Johnson, Bryson Douche Shambo, because I fucking hate that fucking guy.
Do you hate him?
I can't stand
Do
him.
you?
Sergio Garcia and some other players too. And to me, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick league. First of all, you're doing a shotgun start, really. Like that's what you do on fucking weekends. And you're only playing 50.
That's what you do in beer leagues.
Right. And you're only playing 54 holes. Really?
Really?
Yeah. That's why it's called the Live Tour, because that's the Roman numerals for 54.
Wow.
Yes.
Shut up. I hate you.
Yeah. And they're saying they want to do it to make it a more player power focused alternative to the PGA Tour. That's not why you're doing it. Come on, let's be real here. That's not why you're doing it.
No.
So like these guys that went over to that tour, I'm fine. Make your money. Do whatever you want. That's fine.
I mean, that's the thing.
And this is literally why you're doing it. Is you're going over there to make a shitload of money.
That's the thing. They're
Cool, bro.
getting paid a ton of money to go over there.
do your thing.
And I mean, when you look at the money these guys are going over there for, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do that right now?
It's a morals thing. Like honestly,
Well,
it's a morals thing.
I mean, if you put morals into it, maybe it's.
Right. And it depends on what you care about.
Maybe it's questionable, and if all you care about is making money in your profession, listen, you're setting your family up for
Absolutely.
a lifetime. So if you can go make this money, fucking go make
right.
it, man.
I'm not gonna hate you for that. Like in any sport, like even with like strikes and whatnot, if you're trying to get a better wage, and yeah, I know these guys are multimillionaires.
No, it's not, Steve.
What's that?
So sorry to interrupt. Don't lose your train of thought. But Steve goes, "Why are we talking about golf?" First of all, he spelled "about" with a V. Steve, type correctly. Come on, man. Then Scott says, "It's a sport, Steve," and Steve says, "So is WWE."
Sports entertainment.
It's sports entertainment.
Yes.
WWE is sports entertainment. It's not a sport.
Sports entertainment.
So, but anyway, Steve says, yeah,
Okay.
star off, Joe.
That's aggressive.
Yeah, it's basically told me to fuck off. That's in case anybody doesn't know what
Right.
star means. It's
All right.
F-U-C-K.
That's aggressive.
Things escalated quickly there.
So yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna get on your shit if you want to make the money, especially like with strikes and lockouts. If you're trying to get a better wage, like the NFL just had their lockout or whatever, and Major League Baseball had their lockout.
Yeah.
And again, these guys are multimillionaires. I get that, but if you're trying to make more money, you're trying to get more money out of a company, do what you got to do to get it. I'm not gonna begrudge you for that.
Right.
Absolutely not. But don't try to make it like you're doing this for the good of the game or whatever. You're trying to grow. Stop it. You're
Right.
going there for money. That's it.
Right.
And now, like it all depends on like what is important to you. Is making just money? Is that important to you, or being one of the greats in the game? Because if you want to be
Right.
one of the greats in the game, going to this tour, that's
That's
out
not
the window.
gonna-
That's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
it's not going to do it unless they start poaching more big talent, which I will tie this into WWE.
No.
So I'll tie it into there a little bit, and I'll tell you, a lot of people a while ago were like, "What is this AEW shit?" Right? So I know we're talking wrestling now, and a lot of people won't really get this, but AEW was an up and comer, and they started poaching big names. They started paying them a ton of fucking money.
Yep.
Now we've talked about this on the show before. Can that survive when you're paying them this much money to come over there? The big names can only carry you so far.
Right.
And then at that point, it's you have to have enough money to fail long enough to eventually succeed.
Right.
When you create a new entity in sports, right? Yeah. You have to have enough money to fail long enough to succeed.
Right.
And will the Live Tour have enough money to fail long enough to succeed? And will they have the money to poach more big name
Given
talent?
who's backing this, yes.
So that's the key, is if they can poach more big name talent,
Yeah.
like AEW did, then they can compete like AEW has and is doing with WWE. And in a lot of ways, for a lot of people, it's a superior product at this point.
I don't watch enough of it to
I don't either.
But
but I'm just knowing what I hear.
Yeah.
I don't watch enough of it either. But when it comes down to it, is again, it's do you have the longevity and the money to back you failing long enough to eventually succeed? And that's going to be the key here.
Scott says Jeff Hardy, great standing. Yeah, I saw that he got arrested again. Nicely done. But when you hear the PGA Tour guys that are still on tour, they're like Rory and Justin Thomas and Jon Rahm, 3 of your biggest stars. They're basically like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you guys made your bed, go lie in it. Now, here's where I don't think should be, is if you went and joined that tour,
Yeah.
like, you're done with the PGA. You should be done with the PGA. You should not be able to play both at all.
Well, hasn't the PGA said that?
They have, and I agree with the PGA on this.
They have a right to tell anybody they can't play.
I agreed. And honestly, you shouldn't even be able to play the majors, but the majors aren't run by the PGA Tour. So that's why you're seeing Mickelson and those guys playing the U.S. Open this week.
Right.
And they're probably going to play the Masters, and the only one they're not going to be able to play is the PGA Championship.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm 100% with the PGA Commissioner on this.
Well,
if you guys want to do that, fine. But there is no way in hell you're going to play in this tour.
Right.
If you're going to do both.
They have a right to do that. I'm not going to say whether they're right or wrong. I'm going to back up the fact that they have a right to do that.
Oh, they do.
Like if these players on your tour are jumping ship, then you have every right to tell them they can't come back.
Yep.
It's the way it works.
Like, see ya. Like, you made your bed.
Yeah.
Lie in it.
Done.
Yep. Like, that's what you want to go do. I get it. Do your thing, man.
Yeah.
But if don't come when you kind of figure out that this, again, just my opinion. I don't think this league's going to be very legit. I don't.
Right.
I just don't think they have the fields and the competitiveness for it to be, like on that level of what the PGA Tour is. I don't see it. Maybe overseas it might work with those guys, but here I don't necessarily see it being a success because I
Right.
think their next tour stop is in Portland because the first one was in London, and I
Yeah.
think the first American tour is the tour stop is in Portland. So I'm curious to see how the crowds turn out for that one because you just saw this past weekend at the tournament in Canada that Rory just won. You saw the 18th green; it was packed for Rory. Like
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if you're going to see that for like on the 54th hole of this Live Golf tournament. If say Dustin Johnson's winning the tournament, I don't know if you're going to see that type of crowd that you would see in a PGA Tour event.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously time will tell to see how this works out. But being as Greg Norman is kind of like the face of this thing and kind of like running this thing, I think it'll end up being an epic failure because that dude is an epic failure. And when it comes to golf, businessman, he's been great.
Right.
But as when it comes to golf, I think he's been an epic failure. So
You're a loser.
I don't know. Like you said, you have the right to do what you want to do. Obviously, and I'm not going to begrudge these guys for doing it. Do you want to make your money? You want to set your family up? Cool, man. You do you. But if you're going to want to come running back to the PGA Tour, if I'm the commissioner, I'd be like, nah, dude.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm just looking at this fucking.
What
I'm
is
just
going
looking at
on
this.
here?
I'm looking at this fucking chat. So, so Steve says something about Cody Rosen, and Scott says, Steve, they just talk about unscripted sports, okay? And then Steve says, guess we got to tune into Time Out on Thursday for fake sports discussion. Scott says, nice plug. Steve knows a lot about plugs.
Jesus. That's some shit going on.
Scott,
there.
that's good, buddy. I like that one. Now I'm not the only one out here taking shots at Steve.
Jesus. That's fantastic.
I love it. But yeah, tune in to Time Out on Thursday.
Yes.
And,
Absolutely.
and they do talk wrestling.
And hear
So-
about plugs, I guess.
And hear about plugs.
an assortment of plugs, I guess.
I guess. Just not hair plugs.
Right. So, from another potential disaster to an actual, what could be a potential disaster for your franchise, Deshaun Watson gets hit with another 2 lawsuits.
26 now.
26, yeah.
26 now. And you know, I have to say this. There are still Browns fans
Of course there are.
that are literally out there. They can't get enough of being out there on social media saying he wasn't charged with anything. These are just money grubbing women. Can't wait till he's on the field. The NFL should not suspend him for anything. And they're just basically saying, I mean, listen, I'm a big believer in innocent until proven guilty. But listen, man, I'm going to state you a couple facts that to me say this man is guilty of something. There are now 26 women. And I think there was 2 more that withdrew their claims because they didn't want to be in the spotlight. And then this man within 17 months, went to 66 different women for massages. Why? Why?
Yeah.
I mean, I've gone for a massage.
Yeah.
I usually go back to the same fucking place.
Yeah.
Why do you need to go on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace and wherever else and find all these random women to give you massage? 66 random women within 17 months gave this dude massages. Why? No, but hold on. Cleveland Browns fan that just wants to see them win a championship and doesn't care about, morals or anything like that. And they just want to be like, oh, Deshaun Watson's innocent and these women are just looking for money. and they go out there and they're like, well, he wasn't proven guilty of anything, and these 26 women are just looking for money, and you need to really, really take a look at yourself in the mirror and just realize how ignorant you sound, because this man is guilty of something. What? I'm not the one to say what he's guilty of.
Right.
26 women accused him at this point. I think 2 more withdrew, so it's 28. And there was 66 different women within 17 months.
Right.
And the question is, why? Why would you go to that many different women within that short amount of time for massages?
I honestly
There's
can't
no-
answer
there's-
that question.
there's no good
yeah,
reason.
I literally can't answer that question.
There's no good reason.
There isn't. There really isn't. Unless you were trying to get up on them. You know, like, honestly, that's legit the only reason I can think of.
Exactly.
Like, and,
That's the only legit reason I can think of.
right. So, and like I said, we talked about this prior.
Right.
I don't think there's any way in hell he plays this season.
I agree. At this point, I agree.
And not to say like how he's looked in minicamp so far. He has not looked good.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this around here
Okay.
so everyone can really see. Still a Browns fan.
Yeah.
Still a Browns fan. Got my cup over here. Still a Browns fan.
Hey, there's the flag right behind me too.
There's the flag right behind you. There's a bunch of flags in my house, along with a bunch of other shit that is Cleveland Browns. I'm still a Browns fan.
Yes.
I'm not going to jump off here. Do I like what they did in this scenario? I've said it from day one. I don't like it. I don't like it in many ways. Not just because of his off-the-field shit. I didn't like it in a lot of ways. And not just because I was a Baker fan. Because I admit Deshaun Watson as a quarterback is better than Baker Mayfield.
Said this from when they traded for him.
From
when
the
they
jump.
signed him. Yeah,
From
you
the
said that
jump.
From the jump.
Like I'm nothing but honest
Yep.
about that. This is. I can't wait, and I'm going to get a lot of shit for this for any Browns fan that sees this.
Do it.
I can't wait for him to be suspended for the entire fucking season and to say I told you so. And honestly, I can't wait because I think there's going to be more women coming out, and I think he will end up facing some actual legal charges out of this eventually because it just keeps building and building and building. And when he misses the entire fucking season, and for half of that season, Baker Mayfield has to be your quarterback, and you have to eat crow and root for him again
Until he gets traded to the
because you've dogged him in just incessantly since they got Deshaun Watson. Meanwhile, he was the only quarterback to take your team to the playoffs and win a playoff game in 18 fucking years. But you forget that real quick when they trade for a molester. Oh, I'm sorry, an alleged molester. I want to throw that out there. Alleged molester in Deshaun Watson. So I can't wait to laugh at all the people that are out there right now saying he's not going to get suspended at all. He wasn't charged for anything. How can the NFL suspend him? Watch. Because the NFL doesn't have to prove without a shadow of a doubt that he did these things. The NFL just has to look at it and go, motherfucker, you guilty. That's it. That's it.
And when you stain the shield, which he has,
You're subjected to their rules.
Oh, absolutely.
Their rules.
There's called a morals clause
Yep.
in your contract.
Yep.
With every single player.
It's the NFL's rules.
Yes.
They don't have to go by legality rules.
No.
It's not how it works. Did they go by legality rules with Zeke Elliott? Did they go by legality rules with any other player they've suspended?
Nope.
No. They do what they want to do
Yep.
under their rules, under their shield.
And especially when you embarrass the NFL, which you have throughout this entire ordeal, because your name keeps getting brought up for these alleged things you've done. Yeah, the NFL doesn't take too kindly to that. And the more shit that comes out,
Yep.
the longer your suspension's going to be, dude.
So Steve says you took one of the best players, should be damn happy. No. Because one, I have morals, and two, I don't like what they gave up for the guy. First of all, they're only paying him $1 million for this first year, which he's going to get suspended for. So he's only losing $1 million, and then the other $229 million are guaranteed over the next 4 years to this guy. The
I still
Cleveland
can't
Browns
believe that they guaranteed all of it.
they guaranteed all of it. So not only did you make it great for him for the year he's gonna be suspended for, and the reason I know you're only talking shit because you're a Cowboys fan. I get it. I understand, Steve. I'm just talking shit back and fuck your Cowboys. But no, this guy is now.
I was looking for a bell. Yeah, there we go.
This guy is they negotiated this contract for a reason. I think the Browns knew he was getting suspended for a year. I think his representation knew he was getting suspended for a year. They knew that was happening. So that's why they put it into the contract that only $1 million was for the first year. The other $229 million is for the other 4 years, and it's all guaranteed.
Yep. Which he may not play any of that either.
And he may not play any of that either.
And not to mention, when if say he does come back after his year suspension, because I do believe he is going to get suspended for this upcoming season, you're gonna have a quarterback that's been out of the league for almost like two and a half years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Great.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to go real well. And like I said,
and meanwhile, who do they have as backup? Because Baker's all but gone in their minds. In the minds of all Cleveland Browns fans, Baker's all but gone. There's half and half. Half that still want him to stay, half that want him to go, and just are done with him. But the half that are done with him, who's your backup?
I have no idea who their backup is. Do you have any idea?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, solid.
Yeah. Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
And you traded for Amari Cooper. Steve says focus. I was talking about obtaining Cooper from the Cowboys. Well, listen, again, you type and text in cryptic ways. So, man, I can't decipher your fucking cryptic text. Say it and spell it how you mean it, okay?
From what I read today, Baker is getting traded to the Panthers.
That's what you said. So I've seen those rumors all along, and they've all just been rumors.
Now it's just about money. Who's going to pay what of that ridiculous contract extension they gave Baker?
Okay. If the Browns are smart, they would pay all of it and just ship him out of town because he's not playing for you. At this point in time, is there any way you can play him this year?
No.
I hope. This is my hope.
Is there any way that Baker just says, "Yeah, I'll play for you"? Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't think so, but this is my hope. My hope is, because Deshaun's going to be suspended.
Yeah.
My hope is Baker does play for them for the first half of the season.
Yeah.
And they can eventually trade him after that, and they trade him. But I hope he goes out there and fucking kills it for him. And I hope he goes out there and shows that he can get the job done, which he did for you because he took you to the playoffs and won in Pittsburgh, so go fuck yourselves. It was a piss-poor decision for this trade. I'm just saying. Piss poor. So this is what bad franchises do. They make piss-poor decisions.
Yeah. And like we said in our group text like last week, I go, the Lions have made some like incredibly bad decisions as an organization since their inception. This has the potential to be worse than any decision the Lions have ever made.
It does.
That's saying something.
This has the potential. Now listen, Deshaun, I'm going to say it again so people can't kill me on this. Deshaun Watson is one of the better quarterbacks in the league on the field. He's proven it.
Yeah.
But he's been off the field for a year. He's probably going to be suspended for another one. He's got all these legal issues in his court right now.
Ain't going away anytime soon.
It's not going away. So you put all that on it, and you didn't just trade for a very, very good to great quarterback in the NFL. You traded for a hot mess of bullshit who might not play for you at all, depending on what happens with all the rest of these legal issues and how many more women come forward.
Like there's taking a gamble, and then there's this.
Yeah.
Like this is the type of shit that like not only gets dudes fired, like execs fired, but to the point you'll never work in this league again.
Right, exactly.
Like
exactly.
That's what this is.
Listen.
And I get it as a Browns fan. Like I when they first traded for him, I get the excitement. Like we got a guy that can take us to that next level. And I get it.
And I get being optimistic. I get it. You want to be optimistic. You don't want to see the negative side of this. But when you look at it realistically, there's way more negative here than positive.
Oh yeah.
Way more. And you got to take off the fan colored, orange and brown glasses. And you got to look at this realistically. It's a bad move. The upside does not even close outweigh the downside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's going to end up being a really, really bad.
I do, Scott. After I said that, Steve has very cryptic text. So Scott says, "Try podcasting with the guy, Hot Mess Express."
You know who's not a Hot Mess Express?
I do. It's the Joe Wright Group.
That's right.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 4 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move with the right group, the Joe Wright Group. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, Shane Wilson, and Alex DeRocher a call today at 248-535-1400. 4750 to fulfill all of your real estate needs.
Nicely done.
Thank you, buddy.
There you go. So
That's my first read in a while.
yeah, that's what I said. I was like, do a read. You haven't done a read in a minute.
Yeah, that was fun.
So like another dumb situation was that, and then going to another. There's a lot of dumb situations going on in fucking sports right now.
Yeah.
You have Tyreek Hill, who just got traded to the Dolphins.
Yep.
Or did he sign or you get traded?
No, he got traded.
Okay.
Yep, he was traded.
Coming out and saying that Tua is a more accurate quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I mean,
I know you're a stat guy.
yeah, so
I don't see how this is the case.
see, I haven't looked up accuracy stats because it's not really a thing that you know offhand, right? Sorry, Steve says, what are the odds of him being released due to the charges? So I'll address that for a second. There is a clause where they can void his contract.
Oh, yeah.
So the only thing is the Browns have said that they're not looking to void his contract at this time, which to me is stupid. I think you'd be stupid not to look at the possibility of voiding his contract. Whether you're actually going to do it or not, I think you'd be dumb not to be looking at the possibility, especially with three more. Since they've signed him, there's been three more women that have come out.
Yeah.
And God only knows who else will and what's going to come of this. I think you'd be dumb not to at least broach that subject, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Steve says you guys need to come for an episode with us, Sports on Tap. Sports on Tap on a timeout. And Scott points out the fact that we've already fucking talked about this, Steve, but that's okay.
We did.
Apparently,
Cigars and drinks.
apparently you took a timeout from Sports on Tap and weren't fucking listening, but that's all right, buddy. Scott was.
Nice.
But anyway, back to Tyreek Hill talking about Tua and Mahomes. I don't know the actual accuracy stats. I can say that. So when he talked about this, he did say that I think it was, I'd have to see the exact quote, but he said something about, I'd be crazy not to go with my guy, Mahomes. He's got a hell of an arm. He's got a big arm. But when it comes to accuracy, Tua puts the ball where I like it, and I can run after the catch, or something along those lines. I'm not going to quote. I'm not quoting verbatim. I'm just saying it was along those lines.
If it gets to you,
Right. Well, so I mean, and again, there's there are stats to back up the fact that Tua was very accurate at the long ball.
okay.
People say his arm is not strong, but he was one of the more accurate quarterbacks with throwing the long ball. Not saying how many he threw. I'd have to look that up, but. Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of those things where, I'll let you say your opinion. To me, it's one of those things that gets in the off season, everything's going to get blown out of proportion.
Right. And
So I think it's funny that people you can't expect Tyreek Hill to throw his new quarterback under the bus, right?
Right.
I mean, he's obviously going to say some glowing things about his new quarterback,
Right.
or else maybe he doesn't throw you the fucking ball.
That's
so.
that's kind of how I'm looking at this. Is like he's kind of pumping up his new guy. I get it. I don't think it's accurate.
Right.
But you're pumping up your new guy. That's fine. Do
Yeah.
your thing. I don't. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think it's.
Bye, lady.
Yeah.
Lady.
Yeah, I don't think it's correct, but whatever. I mean, you want to pump up your guy? Cool, man. Do your thing.
Yeah, I mean
I mean,
to me that's what this is.
like honestly, Patrick Mahomes kind of made you, dude.
And
Your
in a-
speed,
and,
I get it,
And in a
but-
way, you can kind of say they made each other, honestly, because listen, there's going to be some times this year where Tua's stats are going to look much better because of Tyreek, and all the times that and Mahomes. Listen, I'm a big
all
Mahomes
those
fan.
yak yards.
Right, I'm a big fan of Mahomes. Before he even took a snap in the league, I was touting this guy. I kind of fell off now because of his brother and his wife, but other than that, Mahomes is a great quarterback. We've discussed his downfall in recent years of wanting to make the big play too much and not taking what's given to him.
Yeah.
And he does kind of chuck it downfield. And a lot of times Tyreek did have, you look at some of those throws downfield, Tyreek had to make adjustments on those.
Yeah.
And that could be what he's talking about is a lot of times Mahomes would just chuck it down the field and Tyreek would make a play on it. So accuracy-wise, maybe in practice, Tua is more accurate in practice. Maybe he does throw a more accurate ball. He definitely doesn't have the arm that Mahomes has because Mahomes can rocket that motherfucker down the field.
He's top 5 arm in the league. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. It's not quite Josh Allen, arm, but he's up there.
I don't even think it's a Stafford arm.
Who? Mahomes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I would agree with that. Yeah, Stafford's got a hell of a gun.
Yeah, he does. I want what? A drink arm?
What the hell was that, and how do we get one? A drink arm. Oh, somebody handing you a drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called lady friend. Hey, lady. Yeah, she brings us our
Yes.
drink for our
Yes.
timeout.
So
that's
you want
what-
to do the
that's what
drink
happened.
or grind my gears first?
Uh,
Because I know you had something to tag along to the grind my gears thing.
yeah. So, all right, let's do grind my gears.
All right.
You know what really grinds my gears?
So, you've been in this situation. We kind of talked about it a little bit before the show, and I'm sure people who are listening and watching have been in this situation as well. When you were entering a freeway, you were supposed to speed up to get on the freeway,
Merge.
merge on,
Learn
right?
to merge.
So last week, I was on my way to work, and it had rained the night before, so the pavement was kind of wet. And there's a lineup of about 7 cars, we'll say, getting on the freeway. And the car that was leading this pack decides to stop, and it was a clear freeway. There was like no traffic getting on. He just decides to stop, and wanted to get over in between, when the right lane merges with the on ramp. You know,
Right.
that little kind of like triangle thing.
Yeah,
right there.
that little empty triangle.
That little
where-
empty triangle. So they wanted to get over to that. So this guy decided to stop and get over to that. Now, who would do something like this? A policeman, a cop.
Can I ask, what was it? A city cop?
No, it was a Hazel Park cop.
Oh, okay.
So he decided to do this. So, in doing so, the car in front of me slams on his brakes, almost slams into the cop. I slam on my brakes, almost slam into the guy in front of me. And then there's like 3 or 4 people behind me slamming on their brakes, and almost, it was like a domino effect.
All because this guy wants to sit in a fucking speed trap.
All because this guy wants to sit in a fucking speed trap. And like the people behind me, they're stopping. You know how like you stop and you kind of like turn your car so like sideways so you don't smash.
Exactly.
Into it?
Yep. Oh, done that a few
Yeah.
times. Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was a cop till I actually passed him and actually got on the freeway and I saw it and I looked. I go, a fucking cop just did this? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, 'cause if it was any one of us that did that,
Oh, yeah.
and a cop saw
Oh,
us
you'd be
do
pulled
it,
over.
We'd be pulled over 100%.
Yep. Yep.
Like, come on, dude. Like, I get you're a cop, but like, you got to know how to drive, man. Like,
Come on, man.
Like, that is ridiculous. Like,
Come on.
Like, if you wanted to do that, just keep going, get off at the next exit, turn around.
Or listen, dude. Like, if you want to be in that little triangle,
Yeah.
get on at the entrance down the next entrance, or the entrance that was down
Exactly.
previously, and then pull into that off the expressway.
Yes.
Don't stop on the on ramp and
Right.
like make 8 cars behind you brake, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was that was a really kind of a shitty way to start my morning that day. And like I said, once I realized who actually did it, that actually made me even more irritated that a cop would do it. Because like I said, if any one of us did it and he saw it, we would have been pulled over.
Yeah.
So that was
And mine that goes with that is just people need to learn how to merge into traffic, whether you're getting off the expressway, on the expressway, onto a street, off of another one. Like, just learn how to fucking merge, man. Like, it's not that hard. It's not that difficult. Fucking learn.
I mean, not only that,
So-
you don't need to, like, when you're turning on a street, you don't need to come to a complete stop either.
No. Okay, here's another one that grinds me. Hold on. Okay, you just took me into one.
You know what really grinds my gears?
When somebody gets into a turn lane, like the middle turn lane to do a turnaround to go on to the opposite way, they get into the turnaround, right? That's a separate lane. Why do people turn out right back into traffic to then turn left into the turn lane? Like they're in that lane, and instead of just driving straight and turning left to make that turnaround,
Yeah.
they literally pull out to the right a little bit to get a wider turn to turn. Like,
I don't know.
why do you dodge into traffic to then come back? What the fuck are you doing? You're not driving a fucking semi. It's a car or an SUV. You don't have to go out to the right to then turn to the left, you
Right.
moron. People are so fucking stupid.
So there's getting off the freeway off of 75, you get into to turn on to 9 Mile. There's the left lane, like this left turn only, and then there's the lane next to it, which is you can either go straight or turn left, right?
Right.
So you're in that second lane. So you want to go to the far right lane when
Right.
you're turning, and then the car that's in the turn only lane goes into that left lane, right?
Yeah.
You got assholes that they're in the turn only lane, but they want to go into that far right lane, and they like almost like slam you into the freaking barrier on the bridge. It's like, dude. And then you yell at them, you honk at them, and they're like, "What? I didn't do anything."
What?
Like this happened to me. Honestly, I think it was that same day as the cop thing.
Yeah.
So being me, I roll down the window. I go, here, I yell at him. I go, do you know what the fuck you're doing? Like, come on, dude.
This actually just reminded me.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Yes.
We could go on this for all day because we
Good.
remind each other shit. So I went to Costco. I went to go put my mother on my Costco account because that way she could get cheaper gas now for the time being. So I got her a card there. But we went there. I got gas. We went in. I was there with my mother and my daughter.
Yep.
And we were going to buy some things to take to my brother and stepmom's house. So we're walking down the lane, getting ready to shop. Right, I'm pushing the cart with my daughter in it.
What day of the week was this?
It was a Sunday, which is a bad idea.
That's
but
a suicide
but that was that we had
Right,
that was
right.
it. We had no choice.
Right.
It was one of those things. So I already know it's gonna be busy, but we're walking along. And actually, at this point in time, I think my mom is pushing the cart with my daughter in it, and so this guy comes speeding past her, like he's weaving in and out of people, and he literally bumped into the cart with my daughter in it, and just right by us. So already, I'm not happy about that, but
yeah.
I'm trying to not be the hothead, and not be an idiot. I'm trying to be more civilized in my older age.
Right.
And, I get told that you never know how people are going to react. You need to watch it and all these things. So I internalize the fact that I'm like, okay, you just bumped into the cart at a decent pace. And my daughter's in the cart and my mother's pushing the cart. I'm just not happy about it.
Oh, yeah.
So then we're going along and then I start pushing the cart at one point and we're walking along and this guy ends up in front of us because he slowed down at one point. So in a hurry to get past us that he had to run into the cart with my daughter in. But then all of a sudden he's going slow enough that he's in the middle of the aisle going slow enough that now we're now behind him. And we're walking along at an okay pace. And all of a sudden he stops. And I almost ran into him. Being the civilized person, instead of ramming the cart into him, I dodged around him. And as we walked around him, I said, yeah, just fucking stop, why don't you? So then he says, what the fuck is your problem? And
I'd be like, you
at
motherfucker.
At that point in time, I did. I turned around and I go, you're my fucking problem. You speed past us. You're in a hurry to get past us. You run into my cart with my daughter in it.
Yeah.
And then now you stop in front of me where I almost fucking hit you. Fuck you.
I think that's fair.
So that was my interaction. Like, come on, people. Let's have some civilized behavior when we're around other people. Don't just go speeding through and bumping into carts and bumping into people. You can say, excuse me, or you can wait your turn. Listen, if you're out on a Sunday at Costco, can you just realize there's a bunch of people around you? You're going to have to take your time. You might have to maneuver around people. Don't just go slamming your way through people, especially with a child in the cart.
No, I think that's 100% fair because that's the way shit is now.
It is. And I have trouble not speaking up.
Oh,
and
absolutely. I would have literally done the same thing.
Of course, my mother says, and I don't blame her. She's like, Joe, you don't know who has a weapon. You don't know who's going to react how or whatever. And I understand that the world isn't the way it used to. And I'm not going to lie. I have a carry permit. I just wasn't carrying then. But those things, maybe they should keep creeping in my mind more often, but they don't. Like, because if I feel some way, I'm gonna fucking speak up. Fuck you.
I think that's fair. And again, I probably would have reacted very similar to how you reacted. And going back kind of to the driving thing, like if you have kids, like younger kids or kids that are just turning the driving age,
yeah,
I feel bad for you right now.
Oh God,
I feel driving has gotten so bad.
It's awful.
So fucking bad.
It's all. People don't actually remember when we went to driver's training. Like, there was rules. Like, you had to learn all these things to do, and we grew up kind of being like, all right, well, I have rules to follow on the road and everything like that. And now all of a sudden, it's just like every man for himself out there.
It is. It's like the Wild West out there. It's crazy. It's crazy now. And you see so many people just like they're driving while talking, like with their cell phones in their fucking hand.
Yeah.
And it's these idiots that, like, if I get in front of them and I see it in the rearview mirror and I see them on their phone, I want to brake check the shit out of them.
Yeah.
You know what? Rear end me. Fine. Do it.
Yep.
Go ahead. Well, what happened here? I'm like, the idiot behind me was on his phone while I was driving, so I brake checked his ass.
I've actually brake checked a few people.
Yeah,
in
or he
recent
slammed
days.
it in the back. He slammed it in the back of my car because he was on his fucking phone.
Right.
Not paying attention. So, I don't.
We could go all day on grind my gears, but how about we get into?
All right, motherfuckers, let's take a timeout and taste this.
Yes, we are. Yes, let's do that. This is yours.
Okay. Oh,
Got it.
got it.
Okay.
I think we're just tempting fate, passing alcohol or beverages over top of all this equipment.
I know,
we need to find a better way.
I think
for
we
this.
do need to find a better way for this.
So
Today we are doing a High Noon Sun Sips vodka and soda black cherry. And
Okay.
Apparently it's made with real juice.
oh,
Okay.
okay. Let me remove the gum
I'm sure that's going to help the
So I'm-
flavor.
so I can actually get a fair palate
Right.
going. Right.
Yes.
Let me.
It might take a sip of water. or
Yeah, I'm gonna
something like
take another sip over here
Yeah.
and just kind of rinse out. Get that minty gum taste out. All right.
Ready?
Salute, sir.
Salute.
Cheers. All right. I'm a little mixed here. So it's not a bad flavor. It's just not enough flavor.
It's better than the seltzers.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah. It's not a seltzer.
Right. It's better than those.
Very much.
I would 100% take this over a seltzer any day of the week.
I agree. But it's
yes,
still,
it doesn't have enough black cherry in
It's
it.
still on the bland side.
It is. I mean, it's not. You can taste the cherry in it, but it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not. Scott said they don't share the same cup. They don't share the same cup like us, Steve.
This isn't two guys, one cup, bro.
This isn't. What kind of podcast are you guys doing over there? Apparently, I missed an episode. Steve said, "Do not stop believing." Amazing beer.
No.
I
No.
actually agreed with that, Steve, because we did that on our show as well. Chris, you didn't like it.
It didn't taste like anything.
I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
I don't know. I did. Yeah.
Steve goes, "They have more money than us, Scott. They have sponsors."
But yeah, the donut stop believing. I was
shit.
not a fan of that. I think there's still one in the fridge.
See, I liked it. I did like that one, but no, this one.
Again, I didn't mind it. I would drink it again.
See, I can't give it I can't give it a thumbs up, but I can't give it a thumbs down either. To me, it's more like a hovering.
I'll give it like a 2.75. Yeah. It just didn't have enough cherry in it.
I'm gonna go 2.9.
Okay.
Yeah, 2.9. It's just above like.
No, Scotty, we
Average.
do not have a megaphone.
No, we don't, Scott. We
Might
don't
have
have
to
a
invest
megaphone.
in that.
Wait, so I was gonna say, are we being shamed into getting a megaphone? Is that what we're doing right now? We're being shamed into getting a megaphone.
But yeah, like that, it wasn't bad. I would drink it again. I definitely over a seltzer any day of the week. I don't like seltzers. I don't.
Yeah, I don't
I don't
either.
care what flavor it is. In the end, they all end up tasting the exact same.
Yeah, I'm not a seltzer guy. I'm not a what's the White Claw shit. I'm not a guy that I don't like that kind of shit. This, I was a little bit afraid it was going to taste like one, but it didn't.
It didn't.
It was decent.
Yeah.
But it was very light on flavor.
Just needed more. Yeah, it just needed more flavor.
More oomph.
Yeah. A little bit more, and I think would have been. Very
Would have been
tasty.
perfect. Yeah.
Very tasty.
I almost would do one of those and add a little bit of cherry, like a cherry
yeah,
squirt.
yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
cherry-
And
cherry
a cherry squirt.
That's what she said.
You son of a bitch. Oh my god.
That's what she said.
Oh my god. And now the show has taken a turn. Yep, you are right, Steve.
Doesn't it always?
Oh my god. Oh shit. All right then. Yeah.
Oh shit. Cherry squirts.
That is remarkably fucking yummy.
On that note.
Oh God.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my God, that was great.
So Chris, you said your neighbor recently.
Yeah, I seen it.
I'm gonna gloss over that one.
I seen it.
You seen it. I seen it with my own two eyes.
Seen it.
So you said your neighbor did a very kind thing for you recently, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Steve, I turn a little red when I laugh. That's what happens. Fucker. you turn red by breathing, asshole. Just leave me alone. Love you, Steve. Anyway, so your neighbor did a very kind thing for you, right?
Yes.
And he brought his riding mower over.
He did. Yes.
So you recently got what did you get? Well, again, I forgot what you call it.
So we recently purchased Pergola, which I was told it was called. I thought it was a gazebo. It is not.
That's what I thought it was too. And then I saw you guys post another thing on there. It was a pergola.
Pergola. That's
okay.
what it is. Yes.
Okay.
And I was corrected when I said it was gazebo. Like,
I would have
that's
said
a
gazebo.
pergola. Right.
I would have said
Exactly.
gazebo too.
So, yes, we recently got one of those, and we put it up this past weekend. But our grass wasn't cut because our grass cutting service did not come this past week because they're just backed up, like with all the rain, and they're just incredibly busy. So it's like, all right, whatever. So my next door neighbor, who has a riding mower because he has a big yard and we have a big yard, decided, he's like, hey, I see you guys are trying to set this up, and I see your grass is kind of long. Do you guys want me to mow a path, so you guys can set it up? And I said, well, honestly, that would be incredibly helpful if you don't mind. And sure enough, he started, cutting the path, and then he says, well, I mean, if I'm just cutting this path, you just want me to do the whole thing? And I go, honestly, that's your call. I would be grateful if you did that.
I don't want to tell you to do it, but I mean,
if you don't mind, and sure enough, he did it. And I honestly, there needs to be more shit like that in just in the world in general. I mean, he didn't have to do that.
Right.
Granted, I think he's like one of those guys that likes doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because he
Just
loves his lawn, and
right.
he likes taking care of that stuff. I'm like, all right, cool, man.
yeah, that's super nice. I agree, and I liked that story and that's why I kind of wanted you to tell it, and it reminded me of something for me. But people need to be more like that, and why can't we all just be a little bit nicer?
Right.
Take care of our neighbors a little bit, take care of our friends a little more.
Right.
But then you brought that up, and I was like, well, I got a little bit of a funny story about a riding lawnmower.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting my taxes, right, and I ended up having a little bit more than what I anticipated. They actually corrected my taxes a little bit and gave me a little extra.
Nice.
Which
is considering it's the IRS.
Which is considering it's the U.S. government, I was like,
All right.
huh?
Okay.
Yeah, I actually had to call my accountant and be
Is
like,
this right?
am I
gonna get butt fucked for this later?
Listen, I literally scanned it in and I sent it over to her and I said, listen, and my accountant's fucking wonderful. She lives in New Jersey, but she's amazing. And I messaged her and I was like, listen, is this legit? Like,
Right.
what did they really tell me I'm getting more than what I should have? And she basically said, yeah, congratulations, and we have proof that they changed it themselves, so they can't come back for you for it. So yeah, go ahead. So I in recent years, right, I'm getting older, and I've played sports for many years, been in some car accidents. My knees and my back are not what they used to be.
Right.
So mowing my lawn, and my lawn is a little bit difficult to mow. I have different levels. I have a lot of yard, actually, and I have a lot of obstacles to go around, and it's just a lot of work, right, for a push mower. And I bought a new push mower last year that has the Propel in it, which is a little easier.
Yeah.
But, this last year I've had some back issues. We even had to miss a show because of it. And so I'm like, I got this extra money. I think I need to buy a riding lawnmower.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to buy a riding lawnmower. But, so I looked into the prices of riding lawnmowers.
They're not cheap.
They are double what I had to spend, which I thought was a significant amount. So I started looking at some used ones, right? And I looked on Facebook Marketplace, and I came across this guy who was selling one for his parents. They got a good-looking one, said it ran, everything like that. They were just getting a lawn service now, so his dad didn't need this riding lawnmower. So I set up for him to, not only did I buy it from him, I made a deal where he would deliver it to my house as well. Paid him an extra $50 for it,
nice.
right?
All right.
So it's significantly less than what I would have paid for a brand new one. which I couldn't afford with what I had anyway. So I was like, all right, this is going to work out, and it's fine, right? So I know all the things to do when you buy things like this from Facebook Marketplace. Like while they're there, you don't pay them, you test it.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So we got it down, started it up, fired up just fine. Engine purred. Got it going. Drove it around a little bit. Got it in gear. Went in different speeds. Everything's working great. I put the blades down. Do a couple passes on the lawn. Fucking cuts beautifully.
Right.
I am like a fucking pig in shit right now. I'm happy.
Right.
I am ecstatic. I paid this guy his money. No problems. I was happy to hand it over to him. Paid him. He went on his way. I had to go to work. It was a Saturday. So I had to go to work. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's a Saturday. I can go in when the fuck I want. I'm going to make a few more passes on my lawn and just enjoy riding my riding lawnmower, which, by the way, has a cup holder, which will or will not have an adult beverage in it when I do the lawn.
It will.
Yes. So I started up again, fires up, purrs beautifully. Put the blades down, do a couple more passes. It's cutting beautifully. Then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this isn't fucking good. So I try to start it back up. Nothing. I'm like, motherfucker, are we serious right now? So I let it sit for a few minutes. Right? And I'm looking and I'm trying to check out what might be wrong with it. Fuel filter, fucking, could be the carburetor. I'm looking at the air filter. I'm just looking at anything.
Yeah.
So, and it's got to be something minor, right? It ran for so long. It's not something major. It's something that's it's like the fuel line or something. So I'm like, wait a second. Well, this isn't running a while. So I looked at how much fuel was in the tank. And it was not much. It was about a half an inch of fuel still in the tank. And I was like, all right, well, maybe it's just not getting the gas through there. So I went out and bought gas. I went to work.
$60 later.
Yeah, exactly. for fucking riding lawnmower. Yeah, exactly. So I went to work, but then, I went to work on my car at my buddy's house, and then I went back home, and I got gas. It was still light out. Poured it in the lawnmower, started right back up. I was like, fuck yeah. All right, maybe it was just the gas. Did 2 more passes. Motherfucker. Are you meaning to tell me that I spent $700 on a fucking riding lawnmower that I can't fucking drive right now? I'm like, what the fuck? I did everything I was supposed to do with this goddamn thing. I made sure it ran. I made sure it cut. I did everything I was supposed to do.
Right.
So I had to call my buddy who owns a lawn care company. I'm like, listen, man, this is the scenario. Please tell me I didn't get fucked on this. And please tell me it's an easy scenario.
Right.
So he told me the few things it could be. And thank God, it's probably going to be something easy that I can work on. But he said he gave me a list of things it was going to be, like carburetor, fuel filter, spark plug. Like there was a few things that could be keeping it from running after it's done. Because it'll run for a little while after you let it sit. You run for a little while and then it'll stall out.
It's a spark plug thing.
It's like he told me like it's any number of like 4 or 5 things.
Right.
Best thing is I found them online, all in one package for my riding lawnmower.
Oh, nice.
For $29.97
Sweet.
plus tax and shipping. Right. But done. I was like fucking done. So I haven't been able to work on it yet, but I'm going to get to that. But I went from being so fucking happy.
That's such a deflating thing.
It is. I was so fucking happy.
Yeah.
I was up here, and then all of us listen, it ran fucking great. I paid the guy his money. I'm cutting my lawn. A 40-year-old man on a riding lawnmower, for some reason, that's an awesome feeling. I'm just cutting my grass without having to do any work. I'm just sitting there driving.
Right.
It's awesome. And then it died out on me, and I went, I went from the highest to highs to the lowest of lows
It's like a punch in the nuts.
real fucking quick.
It's like, come on, dude.
Have you ever bought anything like used like that where you got it and you were like, God damn it, this is not like I got fucked here or anything like that? Like that's so frustrating because I don't think I got fucked. I don't think this guy really knew there was something wrong with it because it did run. Literally, he stood there with me while it ran.
Yeah.
But then it died out. Well, maybe he knew it was going to die out eventually. Maybe he knows it has a little bit of an issue. But
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, one of my jerseys were like that.
really?
Yeah, it was an Arsenal jersey, and it was one of my Grail Arsenal jerseys that I had wanted for quite a while.
Yeah.
The guy had it, and it said large. I'm like, all right, sweet, perfect, we're good to go. Pay the guy money. It was like $60, something like that.
Yeah.
So not quite $700 like your lawnmower, but and sure enough, got shipped it quick. Got here within a week. Opened it up. It's a fucking kid's large.
Oh, God.
I'm like, are you serious with this shit right now?
A kid's large?
large.
Oh, fuck you. That guy did that shit on purpose.
I was like, come on, dude. He didn't put that in the description.
No.
Even the picture of the jersey, it did not look like a kid's large. It looked like an adult large. I'm like, all right, sweet. I've been wanting this jersey for a while. Let's do it. And like I said, as soon as I opened the package and I pulled it out, I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And yes, it was a freaking kid's large.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I was not thrilled about that.
Yeah, that guy did that on purpose.
Maybe. But whatever.
That sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to get into today, bud?
Nah, I think we're good, man. I think we covered pretty much everything we wanted to cover. So
I agree. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. We want to thank all of our sponsors, Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank, Craig Joe Wright from the Joe Wright Group, and Time Out with Steven Scott, brought to you by Bald Man Entertainment. On behalf of Chris and Frank, who's not here, and we miss him, and he'll be back, I am Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye, have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No, 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 no!
Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
And you were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I've ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.